Hello guys, sorry I ain't been around in a while. Just been dealing with some things. I had a couple car builds I had to get done and I was on a deadline. I didn't make that deadline. But after doing the cars, I just needed a break and sit down. I'll give you guys an update soon on the cars. I finished these POX walkers this week just to do a few other things. So I wanted to get get these on the get these updated to you guys. I still been working on some of them. Let me get the camera just right. Um, get the lighting right too. These right here are like again the Warhammer 40K miniatures from the No Fear set that I had purchased earlier in the year. See if I can't get those. And it's been a while since I made a video. Let's see if I can't get some light on them. Let's see. This light here help. Nope, that made things worse. Like I said, this right here is just a break from a few of the car builds I were doing. In the No Fear set, it came with 10 miniatures, 10 POX walkers, I should say. So I got these out and built the bases and got them done. While I was building them, I wanted to put some names to them, and since I don't play the game, I made the bases bigger, and then I always do little dioramas on the base. But as I was building them, I wanted to name them, and I wanted to name them after some of the YouTube channels that I enjoy watching. How to do some of these figures with. Um, where's my notebook for notes? The first one I have was I put the names on their bases. This right here would be Sledge from the Sonic Sledgehammer Studios. So he had a sledgehammer, and I named this one after that channel. I tried to. I'm not the best detailer, guys. Like I said, I'm not the game player. I just wanted to paint these up and build some little bases. I do be able to take these off the base so that way you can see the base. I made me a little holder here where it actually says see if I can't get that plugged in there. Where it actually says Minidreams miniatures 28 mil, and that way I can hold this here and show you guys the figure without blocking my fingers. So this is the one dedicated to Sonic Sledgehammer Studios. Focus. He does a great series on how he paints things. This one right here was for Baza over at Underdog Painting. It also holds so that way we can show the whole thing. This is built for Baza at Underdog Painting. And I just made his name under D. And then here's his base. Just the base. I really enjoy doing these bases. I need to do some bases and stuff like that. I got a George Ramos from Vision 124. If you go check out his channel, his club, the Diversified Scalers, just did a big diorama of a parking lot. And then within this parking lot is a McDonald's, Hobby Lobby, 5 and below, just all kinds of really neat store stuff. I need to do something like that so for my cars I can take some pretty cool pictures with the cars. This right here is the figure I chose for Underdog um, off his base. And since I'm not a 40K game player, focus, I don't worry about the law, the rules, or what have you. So I upgraded the base size, and then, like I said, if I should ever want to get rid of these and somebody is wanting to pick up a Death Guard army or add more, um, these can be switched to um, legal bases. Um, we got War Torn is a really neat channel. He's running a Kickstarter right now where he's making his own um, tools and stuff to do terrain for wargaming. It's really neat. I like his channel. Was talking back and forth touring with him on Facebook, and just a really neat guy to talk to. Lots of inspiration. So I made this figure here after him, and then here will be his base. This right here will be his base without the figure on it. You know, like I said, man, the bases are really fun to build, and I need to do them. I need to build a photo booth style for my cars. Then this right here is the figure I chose to use for War Torn. And then one of my really good friends, Richard Sessions from the Nerd Life, I made this one. The reason why I chose this one for Richard is Richard to me was one of the, outside of Gilbert at Red Dragon Model Works, between Richard and Gilbert, these guys gave me a lot of pointers, a lot of tips. So I wanted him to have the full coat guy like he was the professor showing me, you know. Gilbert was encouraging a lot. I had a lot of questions and Gilbert answered those, but Richard was more of a teacher. I could spend more time um, talking to Richard about um, my aspects and inspirations. At the time when I was learning the minis and getting into the minis, Gilbert was, had his grandson, and he was, really busy. So my questions with Gilbert were short and sweet. Great teachings. If you guys can follow Red Dragon Model Works, he has some great tips, some great pointers. Um, and then here's Richard's figure all by itself. But Richard, I was able to get on some live chat calls with him, and he was talking about brush strokes and thinning and tinting and doing a lot of stuff like that. I didn't have time to ask Gilbert, but both were great teachers. I got another project dedicated just to Gilbert, and I'll get to those here in a minute. But this one right here was for Richard and some of the other guys within the YouTube community that I choose to. I really like to watch and follow. The maggots, guys. That's what there's maggots everywhere on this dude. In his guts, on his legs. And I really like that sledgehammer. The rope. I was on my first sets of figures. You guys could see when I was doing the Nurgle stuff. There's a big change in my style and the way I'm doing things. And even in our automotive field, for those viewers that are watching now that are automotive builders, don't be afraid to ask questions and learn from your fellow car modelers, because we're all, you can see just in my figurines, on my miniatures, by asking questions, I'm getting so much better at these than I was at the beginning of the year where I did my first set of Nurgles and what have you. Now this one here is our good friend Nick Beer over from Idic Beer. He's a Necron player. So this guy right here reminded me of Necron. So I picked this one here for Nick. And we call this one here Idic Nick. And he's got a great channel, always up to something, doing either cheap terrain builds or get it painted challenges. Nick is always really a big motivator for the community. I like his Unified Gamers Facebook page, where you can see a lot more. Nick's work there, and does his Space Marines, not his Space Marines, but his Noise Marines and his Necrons. And his young daughter is starting to get into Warhammer 40k too. Um, Here's Nick's base by itself. And then here's his figure by itself. Really cool dude to paint. Nick's not so much a teacher to me, but a friend, somebody I could communicate with, and share ideas with, bounce ideas off of each other. Just a really cool dude. Even though I don't play the game, he supports me in doing my custom bases, and it's very encouraging and motivating, by looking at the custom work he does and the conversions and things that he does. Just a great inspiration there. And then the last one named after people through the YouTube community is Steve from Steve Small World. Steve Small World does a lot of reviews. He does a lot of his own custom terrain and stuff. And he is a father with two boys, and both the boys are doing a little bit of 40k stuff, and it's really neat to see them all together. So here's the figure I did for Steve Small World. I'll try to get some of these pictures up. There's a damn cat here on there. There will be Steve's base by itself. Nothing fancy on this. And here's his figurine by itself. I really like doing the horns. It's a mix of white, some washes, some deck tan, and then highlighting throughout. You just and then so I named 6 of them after some friendly YouTube channels, and then here's just the rest. I call this guy Mr. Right. I call this guy Mr. because his right arm is all electronic. And like I said, all the bases are handmade. I didn't stick with the paint code that Games Workshop asked for these, because they're my own creations and I don't play the game. And then I call this guy here to the left because he's got 2 left arms. Focus. So I made this guy's name to the left. It looks like he's holding that skull tied to the chain right there. Just full of pustules and all that. And I made his name 2D left. And this guy right here, we named this guy here Grin, just because he's got that huge smile on his face. He's got a shotgun with the knife. He's got welding goggles on, and he's going to go in, and he's happy to go in. He's smiling. And then the last one of these is going to be Spike. just because he has all the horns and its tentacles are all pointing up. So I named him Spike. And if you notice, he put his rifle, it's upside down with the blade at the end where the stock's going to be. Come on, focus. And these will be the finished POC walkers from the No Fear set. So there was 10 total. Now that's them all done. And now my tribute to Gilbert, for Gilbert being the good motivator and teacher and friend that Gilbert has been to me over the years, even just within the automotive stuff, he was always real supportive. Following his channel, Gilbert does tanks, planes, figurines, but I was more captivated, and automobiles, but I was more captivated by his style of painting when it came to miniatures. Gilbert sent me a resin bust last year, along with a few other figurines, and told me to give my hand at it. So I took the resin figurine that Gilbert gave me. I painted it. I love those eyes, man. So I painted it. It was just a big piece of resin. I pinned it, made a custom base for it too, and then to go with it, being that it's a big alien, I want it to look like it was a statue coming to life. Like, one of the World of, if you guys ever seen the Tom Cruise movie World at War, they make it seem like the aliens had came years ago and were hibernating in ground, and then they came, the lightning strikes hits them, and then they come up out of the ground. So I wanted this to look like the statue was coming to life. And I got these Tyranid termagants, and I wanted it to look like it was giving these guys messages, like they're going to protect because it's, coming to life. So I did this in Gilbert's honor, um, just because he shared the bust with me, and I was able to get these all in there. Again, all custom made bases using some Citadel skulls, decorative rocks, cat litter, coffee grounds, and cork on some wooden dowels. And the miniatures themselves are just a quick build. They're called easy build from um, Games Workshop, but I like the orange look and stuff I've been doing on my Death Guard, so I just kept these guys orange. Gave them some highlights and some other colors, and built the guns, and just lots of fun. I try to build a few different colors. This ebony one, once I started to highlight him in pink, because all the other ones are highlighted in pink too, he started to remind me of Tron. So in my imagination, as I was painting these, this is the elder of all of them. That's why, being from all the different other worlds, he's basically leather skinned now. And when all these other ones, you can see how I got this one here a little darker, like he's getting more sun exposure than, say, some of the younger ones. So, and then it was just, the bases are just a joy to build. And so that right there was my tribute to Gilbert, and all the and the thankfulness that I have for him, and him sharing his knowledge and patience. I knew when him taking care of his grandson, for him to take an hour, or even just 10 minutes to talk to me when I had a question on, how do I blend, how am I going to do this, for Gilbert to sit down for a few minutes while his little man was taking a nap or something. And not only that, I mean, to actually share this alien bust with me. Um, I didn't ask for that. It showed up in the mail, and it was just great, having Gilbert there to do that with me, or for me, I should say. He sent me some other figurines I need to get to, um, but that's about where that is. Um, Basically, spent probably the last few weeks after um, I was working on getting 2 cars done. I didn't make it for the Diversified Scalers model car contest there in New Jersey in September. So I just did these over the last few weeks just to get a break. I've had some things going on in the family. I needed some time to de-stress. Um, so I really didn't want to get into anything. I just wanted to paint stuff I had already had built and everything. So let's move those to the side. And let me share with you guys what we got done. Alright. So as you guys know, before we left, we were working on the Nissan Sunny wagon and the GTR wagon for Scale.net and for the Diversified Scaler Show. The wagon did get done. Me and George sat there and talked. I wanted to do something different, something brighter, something not of the norm. So get that right there where it says Diversified Scalers and Scaled World. Right there. We took the Aoshima kit that Pete had purchased, did the kit review, then sent it to me. We took it. I modified the roof. I modified the roof using a Magnum wagon from Revell. Everything else is from the kit. I was going to switch the wheels and thought, no, we'll just keep it all kit based. This kit didn't come with the motors, so that's how it's built curbside. I put Mr. Mini plates on it. And then basically outside it, I didn't put no mirrors on it. Outside of it not having the roof added, it's basically just all box stock, just painted up. Really cool looking car. Kind of a rough kit to build by putting these sides on and the way the bumper's on. I ran into some fitment issues. I don't know if the other gentleman building these, I know Tom Ritter built one, John from Gap Hill Speed Shop built one. George Ramos was building one, and a few other guys were building them. I didn't get mine done in time for the show. I did finish it up the weekend of the show. I'd already shared pictures with Pete and George. But as soon as I get some medical stuff taken care of here and get caught up on a few bills here, this stuff will be shipped back to Pete. So there's the Skyline wagon done. And then here's the Sunny done. I towed with the other cars being named after fruits. Like we got Degons, we got Dennis's, we got mine. So they were called bananas, grapes, and apples. So I was keeping along with the fruit name. I didn't want to do a bright orange and have one called an orange. I went with this. Me and George thought we should call this one passion fruit, just because I put a lot into this one. One of my favorite kits to build now. One of my favorite persons to build for. ScaledWorld.net. You guys need to check him out if you haven't checked him out. Pete's such a great guy. Really enjoy the whole website. The leniency that he gives to me to build items specifically or for ScaledWorld.net. They're not always his builds. But he is a great guy. And the Diversified Scalers Model Club. George helped me acquire some wheels, some other parts for this from the club. Um, I was able to use a great tool that they give me. Um, but here the Sunny is done. Like I said, we cut up the C1 kit that was supposed to change this into Skyline front end. We cut it up and made it the regular Datsun Sunny Nissan Sunny Datsun front end with the C1 over fenders, the C1 hood, the C1 vents, and the C1 front valance. I customized a front bumper. It is blowed away, clear crossed. Um, the hood is suicide. It does have a straight 4-cylinder in it. I didn't put a back window in it, but I did make the step up steps, custom plates that say Dreamer, custom orange paint in the window stickers, or they say the LB Performance, ScaledWorld.net. A little cartoon character there. Here's the motor, fully wired, detailed, plumbed, linkage, all that good stuff. Um, Everything, going to open and close on it for Pete, easy to handle. Can't wait to see this one sitting next to Bananas, getting a photo shoot. Pete takes some great photos, and now with the parking lot scene done, I can't wait to see this in there. So I know I've been quiet on YouTube and on Facebook, focusing on doing family things. Um, had some personal issues popping up and going around, so I had to handle that stuff. But I thought I'd give you guys a quick update, show you what's been done. I have been working, I have been staying busy, not just with the automotive stuff and the miniatures. So I have a few more Death Guard to paint. Let's see, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 6 more Plague Marines to paint, and then my Death Guard is done. I got a lot of Space Marines to do. I got let's see, I got Skaven to finish up. But I've just been really enjoying both the miniatures and the automotive builds. I appreciate you guys that have followed me throughout. Both, both. I know the figuring's not exciting to some of you guys, but I enjoy them. The hood. I didn't make these hinges as hard as some of the other hingings that I've done for Pete. It's just I have I did this hinge setup just a bit different, so sometimes it gets a little weak. There it goes. So be forewarned, Pete, if you're watching this video, I made this one a bit delicate. I see you guys talking about Acme. When is the Acme date? November 3rd. That skyline is a lot bigger than this little Sunny. Well, hopefully we could get these back to Pete, and they will be able to be seen at the Acme in November. Just my funds are really strapped right now. We still are doing the Cadillac giveaway. We didn't pull the winner for that yet. I didn't want to pull the winner and have people sitting around. I ended up having to use some of the PayPal to cover some family things. And I didn't get a chance to pull the name for the Cadillac build just yet. But I still have the tickets. They're still in the jar. The kit's still right above me. So that still will go when we get ready for all that. Um, don't forget, guys, go check out skeledworld.net. Submit your work. Show us what you're working on, and enjoy yourselves, man. Get out there and enjoy the the car scene. Um, do some modeling and let your imaginations open. And if you get bored, I've talked to David Goodwin. He right now just said he's lost his motivation for building, and he's just sitting around. Pick up a figurine and just maybe focus on some painting instead of building and messing with all the headache and what haves it for when it comes to things like that. I'm missing a blank. Yeah, we kept the factory blinkers on the Datsun. Um, we did the factory mirror spots. I just really love this grill. Something about that grill is why I wanted to keep that Datsun front end. Um, but it also shows that you could take the C1 resin, and it was easily cut and manipulated into the Datsun fenders. And then with the right amount of body work, you can't even tell that it was ever done. The same with the hood. Yeah, I can't wait to see these pictured together, Pete. Um, some of the guys that built for Pete, they all sent Pete the skylines, and we was all supposed to have them done for the Nissan parking lot theme. And I missed out, but I can't wait to see. Um, can't wait to see the skylines together getting painted, getting pictured, and the same with the Sunny, getting pictured with the other Sunnies that are out there. Some great cars came out of George's show. I got to see some pictures, some awesome builds. Well, guys, that's it for me today. It's time to wake the family up. No kids have school today or tomorrow, today or Monday, so we're going to plan some stuff to do. And I appreciate you guys tuning in again, both my miniature supporters and the automotive supporters. Now it's time to put things up in a case and move on to something else. So, with that being done, you guys have a great day. Thanks again, Pete. Thanks again, all you guys that do take the time to follow my channel and what have you. This is Minnie, and I'm out.